Good morning, viewers. This is attorney Naresham Gehi. Hope you all had a great weekend. It was fabulous for me, especially because I got a few days off to enjoy my weekend, especially because of Memorial Day. Firstly, on this auspicious occasion of Memorial Day, we need to thank every person who has stood up for the United States of America, including the veterans, as well as the US military, the Navy SEALs, who do a fabulous job in making the United States secure. I don't have enough words to thank the US government, especially the military, and the police force for the fabulous job they do in this great nation. And thank you to the wonderful judges who basically implement the letter of the law in the United States of America. So today's topic, let's get rocking, folks. The topic for today is, can you qualify for a green card if you cross the border and you came into America? Take a simple example. You cross the border from Mexico. You came into the country. Can you qualify for a green card? The answer is that yes, you may qualify for a green card. How can that happen? Let's take an example of a person by the name of Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez is in Mexico right now. He came to Mexico from El Salvador, or he came to Mexico from another country. And thereafter, because of bad circumstances in his life, and in order to have a better life, he crossed the border and he came to the United States of America. And now, Mr. Gonzalez is married to an American citizen. Now, the American citizen and Mr. Gonzalez have children in this country. And their biggest worry is, when is Mr. Gonzalez going to get his green card? So now, a lot of people are worried if whether Mr. Gonzalez, who crossed the border and came into America, can qualify for a green card after he is married to an American citizen or to a green card holder. So the good news is, since Mr. Gonzalez is married to an American citizen, there is a chance he can qualify for the green card. Now, how can that happen? Now, let's put it this way. Mr. Gonzalez is a native and citizen of El Salvador. He came into Mexico, and from Mexico, he came to America. And he's married to this wonderful person, this wonderful lady, who's an American citizen. What can she do for him? The good news is that under the professional waiver program, which came into existence when Obama was the president, he said that these people should get an opportunity, especially people who cross the border, and if they are married to an American citizen, they should get a chance to qualify for the green cards. So therefore, he enacted the professional waiver program. Now, what do you need with the professional waiver program? And some people are very scared, and I'll come to that. Under the professional waiver program, if you are married to an American citizen or a green card holder, let me repeat, or a green card holder. Isn't that nice? So I said that if you're married to an American citizen or a green card holder, the good news is that you may qualify for a green card. How does the process work? We're going to explain it to our viewers. Now, the first thing you do is you apply for the initial petition, commonly referred to as the relative petition. After the relative petition is approved, after that is approved, you apply for the through the National Visa Center for visa processing. So you begin the visa processing, and then you can also apply for the unlawful presence waiver. Now, unlawful presence waiver means you've been illegally living in America for a long time, so you need the unlawful presence waiver. And drafting and preparing the unlawful presence waiver needs a lot of experience from an attorney, especially because immigration looks at it very carefully. And once if the unlawful presence waiver is approved, the good news is that Mr. Gonzalez will not be subjected to the 10-year bar if he entered without a visa and there are no other factors affecting the application, which means if he hasn't lied, if he doesn't have a criminal record, the good news is that after the waiver is approved, Mr. Gonzalez will have to go to the consulate in El Salvador or wherever he is from for just a few weeks, not for 10 years, just for a few weeks and not for 10 years. So get that fear out of your mind that if you leave the country, then you will be subjected to the 10-year bar, you won't come back. Now that is the purpose of the 601A waiver. And if that is approved, the good news is you will be back within a month or so. So that's the average time, of course, So there's nothing to worry if your waiver is approved. And in such cases, if required, we can also travel with Mr. Gonzalez to the country. We've done that. We can do that for you. And, so in a sense, if needed, we can go with you. That's what I'm trying to say here. So the question is, do not be scared. If you are in the right hands, if you have good legal representation, even if you cross the border, and if you're married to an American citizen, you may qualify for a green card. Now, we took this example of El Salvador. This applies equally to India. This applies to Pakistan. This applies to the UK. This applies to Afghanistan. This applies to Guyana, applies to Trinidad, applies to every country in the world. No matter which country you came from, if you cross the border, and if you're married to an American citizen, and if you're married to a green card holder, or if you have parents, I'm going to make life much easier for you. So we're going to take the second part of it as a different example altogether. You can still qualify for a green card. Scenario number two. Scenario number two is this, that your father is an American citizen here, or your mother is an American citizen, or your mother is a green card holder, and your father is a green card holder. They sponsored you, and you are out of status in the United States. You're undocumented right now. You lost your status after coming here on a student visa. So the good news is, even if you came in on a visitor visa, you came in on an H-1B, or you came in on any other visa, you lost your status over here. And now, your father has sponsored you. The good news is that you are still eligible for the provisional waiver. Even if you came with a visa, and if you're sponsored by your parents, or if your parents are green card holders or citizens, you can still qualify for the provisional waiver program. So we gave you two examples. One was through marriage, and the second one was through your parents. So these are two fantastic examples. Now, we spoke about people who entered without the visa. Even if you entered with a visa, And if you cannot adjust your status under Section 245 of the Immigration and Nationality Act in the United States, you may still be eligible for the provisional waiver. We handle these cases from all over the United States and the world. So sometimes there are issues which can get more complicated. Now let's call this as part number 3. And my viewers are going to love this. Imagine a situation that you have a deportation order. You have a deportation order, and doesn't matter how you entered the country. You entered by crossing the border, or you entered with a visa to the United States. And now you're married to an American citizen. You are scared because you have a deportation order. Can you still qualify for a green card? The answer is yes, you may qualify for a green card. How? You entered with a visa. Deliberately, I'm changing the facts. Doesn't matter whether you entered with a visa or without a visa. And you're married to an American citizen and you have a deportation order. What can you do now? Your spouse can still sponsor you. You will need 2 waivers here. One is the waiver of deportability and the unlawful presence waiver. And the good news is, if both the waivers are approved in America, you can leave the country, not for 10 years. If everything else is okay on your application, not for 10 years, God willing, you'll be back within a month. Yes, we had clients who've gone back and who come back very soon to the United States. So the key is become legal. Now, what's going to happen if you're going to be scared? You're getting nowhere. As you all might be reading the news, are things getting better in immigration? The answer is no. Things are just getting bad. You have the opportunity now to become legal, even if you cross the border, and if you're married to an American citizen, or if your parents have sponsored you, who are green card holders or citizens, you have a chance through that. Even if you have a deportation order, if you're married to a citizen, you may have a chance to qualify for a green card. It is critically important that you go with a very seasoned immigration lawyer, because these cases can become very complicated. Therefore, it's very important for you to be in the right hands. And this concludes our show for today. Next week, we are going to talk about a very important topic. What can you do if your citizenship is pending with immigration for a long time? Or what can you do if your citizenship or your green card has been pending with immigration for a long time? And that's a very important topic. Stay tuned with us next week, same time, same place, with Attorney Gehi. The instant program constitutes an attorney advertisement under the laws of the state of New York. We will be back with the viewers next Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have any questions, you can call us at 718-764-6911 for a free initial personal consultation, or email us at info@gehilaw.com. And stay tuned and spread the message so that people can benefit in becoming legal in the United States. Thank you.